Hey Peak Humans, this is Dave, and I'm here with the afternoon update for the Waterfast Challenge, day number 4. Now, it's getting kind of interesting on day 4 because I'm really close to the end. I've honestly come a long way in terms of sticking to it and the progress that I've made in my weight goals and my, well, honestly, more like my body fat percentage goals. Because if I want to put on any significant amount of muscle, I'm going to weigh more than what I've calculated my ideal body weight to be, which is like 179 thereabouts. If I put on any significant amount of muscle, I'm going to be back up into the 180s or maybe even the 190s, depending on how much I put on. So weight isn't really the issue here. It's more body fat percentage. Which, speaking of, I'm currently 184 and 15.2% body fat. So that's some really good progress that I've made. Like I said, it's basically 3% body fat and about 10 pounds that I've in terms of progress that I've made since the beginning of the challenge. And yeah, it's been a good challenge so far. Pardon the car. My mom's leaving for somewhere right now. But yeah. Sorry for the really weird angle here. Let me see if I can. Yeah, this should do better. Anyways, yeah, I'm still pretty tired. Not as tired as I was yesterday, thankfully. Yesterday was horrid in terms of my energy levels. I was basically sitting around the entire day. But yeah, today's energy level is better. The headache is still really, really mild, but it's there. It's mild enough that it doesn't really bother me until I'm like, oh yeah, I've got a headache going on. And the thirst is fine. I mean, I've still got like 2 gallons of distilled water if I need it. And yeah, it's really tough, especially when there's food everywhere that you want to eat. And you really can't if you want to stick with it. This is honestly one of the hardest things I've ever done. Like I'm not, like, you know, in the movies there's the person who's like trying to lose weight, and so they're literally sitting at the table with a meal already prepared and just looking at it and like completely defeated, like, I can't eat this. Why am I even sitting here looking at it? It's not to that point. That I think that would happen if I were on a restricted calorie diet instead of like a completely water fast, where like I'm eating 500 or 300 or however many calories a day. That, I've heard, is really, really difficult because your body's like, yeah, there's a little bit of food, we need more. But when your body's like, oh, there's no food, great, we can probably deal as long as we need to, sort of a thing, then it's not quite as bad. But you do tend to have some side effects. Like for me, it's been that I've been really tired a lot of the time, and I can't think very clearly, and oddly enough, I've been thirsty a lot. I think it's because of the strategy that I took, that I drink whenever I'm hungry, and now my body's like, oh, instead of sending hunger signals, let's send thirst signals. that'll get us somewhere. Like, at least we're getting water when we do that. And so that might be some sort of coping mechanism that my body has come up with or something like that, which may or may not be a good thing. I'll admit it's the slightest bit worrying, but hey, I mean, I'm not dead. I'm not severely ill, as far as I can tell. And yeah, I've made a lot of really good progress. So tomorrow's the last day. Tomorrow, which is also Friday, so Sunday's the first day that I'll be able to eat solid food again. Because on Saturday, even though I'm not on my water fast, I may need a bit of time to acclimate back to actually digesting food. So what I may do is I think I'll have soup in the morning at like 8, and then some more soup at like 10, and then 12, or maybe 8, and then 11, and then 1. Space it out 3 hours instead of 2. And then if I'm feeling up to it, I can have like a sandwich or something. Just like something really easy to digest. Well, but carbs aren't necessarily very easy to digest. Maybe something more like maybe like an apple, because we just got some apples recently, so maybe I could have some apples. But like I said, it's all gonna depend on how I'm feeling at the time and what I think I can handle. And yeah, I'm gonna say that even though I've been able to grin and bear it, that makes it sound like it's a lot harder than it is. Never mind. Even though I've been able to function pretty much normally over the course of the water fast, let me just say I'm looking forward to eating again, because that is something that I enjoy. And I've actually done some reading on like how other people do water fasts, and I think that maybe a good thing to do would be, a good thing for like weight management would be 3-day water fast over the weekend, like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or something like that. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then yeah, I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday is my acclimation day if I need it, and the rest of the week I can eat normally, or, well, maybe not normally, because I do tend to go for the higher calorie options, which surprisingly didn't put me in a worse situation than I was in before, than I was in before. Like, I think the most I was ever overweight was 30 pounds, which is quite a bit, I'll admit, but it could definitely have been a lot worse. It could easily have been a lot worse than that. But right now, oh my goodness, I'm only like 5 or 6 pounds overweight. And I have noticed from the scale that I'm using that I've got a lot of water weight. Like, maybe not a lot of water weight, I don't know what that would mean. But I'm about 65% water weight right now. And like 43% muscle, 20 some, hey Money, yeah, something like 42% muscle, and then like 15% fat. So yeah, I've got pretty good body composition. And honestly, if I, sorry, I can't think right now. And, but yeah, if I were able to keep a reasonably healthy diet and actually exercise on a regular basis, I think that within the next 30 days and within the next month, I could get down to about where I want to be body fat fat percentage wise. Because I'm not sure if I'm gonna actually hit my target of 180, 179 by the end of day 5. But even if I don't, this has given me a huge head start on what would otherwise have been a pretty long and arduous journey. And honestly, it's already been kind of long and arduous in terms of yesterday when the time seemed to drag on, and I've been pretty tired and I can't think very clearly. Although interestingly enough, my averages on the Rubik's Cube sizes that I can solve hasn't changed that much. In fact, they've gone down. I've actually gotten faster. So, is it that I'm just processing information more, certain information more efficiently or something? I have no clue. If any of you know what could be going on, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. In fact, honestly, if you ended up writing a full-on scientific paper on like fasting and the neurological effects of fasting or something like that, that would be really interesting. And I would definitely read and review it and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's like 12:30 right now. And it's day 4. And honestly the temptation to quit is starting to kind of catch up to me. Like, I think I might have been running on adrenaline a bit, at least a little bit, for the first 3 days, but now my body's like, okay, we're anticipating the end, because it almost definitely knows that I was planning on only going 5 days, and they're like, okay, we've got a lot of good things done, and we're about to end anyway, like, why don't you just eat something, like, but the thing is, I need to finish this. Like, this is literally the very first challenge that I'm doing for the Peak Human Project. And if I quit, what kind of precedent is that gonna set for the rest of the challenge? Like, quit when you're 90% of the way there? Like, I don't want that. I really want to be able to finish this, and if something drastic happens in the next day and a half, then of course I'm gonna quit, because safety comes first. That's always been my top priority, is don't die, because of course when you die you lose all of your body fat, but also you lose all of your muscle, all of your water, all of your organs, literally everything, until you're nothing but a skeleton, and even that goes away eventually. So then what's the point of losing all that weight? You're not going to be able to do anything with it. So safety's always been first, but close second has been but then second is like the weight loss that comes with the water fast, and then third, really close third to number 2, is just the confirmation that I can do ridiculously hard things over extended periods of time. And and if I can finish this successfully, that is going to be a huge help with me on the rest of my journey to being the best, not only physically, but also mentally, emotionally, and all facets of what it means to be human. If I can finish this off successfully, that will be huge for me in terms of motivation and saying, no, I want to quit. I really feel like quitting, and I might feel even more strongly like quitting tomorrow. Who knows? But if I can make it through today and tomorrow, and successfully complete the 5-day water fast. And I'm probably blowing this out of proportion, but if I can complete the 5-day water fast successfully and only start actually consuming food on Saturday, that's gonna be huge in terms of motivation for me to be able to push through the hard times for the rest of the project, which could easily span 3 or 5 years, if not even longer. And I really want that, and I'm glad that the few people who have been watching this have been, because knowing that at least one person, because a lot of my videos have only gotten one view, knowing that even just one person out there, even if it's my parents watching it, that really helps. That really helps with the motivation and with the stick-to-itiveness that you need. And I hope that if anybody else watches this, they'll know that I'm not faking any of this. Like if any of you doubt the sincerity that I'm feeling right now, I'd like to challenge you to try and do the 5-day water fast. All you need is 3 or 5 gallons of water, somewhere in there. I'm probably gonna end up going through about 4.5. All you need is a couple gallons of water, and if you're worried about the electrolytes like I was, maybe a bit of table salt or something like that when you feel like, man, I might be running out, and then just like get a small palmful and eat that. It's not gonna give you any calories. It's not gonna break your fast. But yeah, try it, and if you don't feel as accomplished and just overall as good that you were able to do such a hard thing, that you could do such a hard thing at the end of the challenge. Sorry for the jump cut there, by the way. I accidentally stopped the recording. But yeah, if you don't feel even a little bit accomplished, then either you've done that before and it's not really a big deal to you, or like what kind of expectations do you have for yourself? Like I have really high expectations for myself. I'm literally trying to be world class at just about everything, and that sounds egotistical or bad or whatever, but like that's generally something that I want to do. I want to be as good as I possibly can be at as many things as I possibly can, and I'm really being genuine about this, and I don't want to beat dead horses or anything like that, but if I can finish this is going to be huge. And yeah, just I'm really looking forward to Saturday. And tomorrow, whatever happens, unless of course it's medical concern territory, whatever happens, I'm gonna push through this, and I'm gonna finish this 5-day fast, and probably making a way bigger deal out of this than I need to, like I said earlier in the video, because there have been people, and of course they had to take vitamin supplements and that sort of thing, but there have been people who fasted for a lot longer than 5 days. Like there was a person who I think was like 150 pounds overweight, or maybe even 200, and he fasted for over a year. doing nothing but water, yeast, and some vitamins to keep his body in the proper balance, and he was totally fine. I can't imagine what that would be like. Anyways, this video's creeping up on 20 minutes now. I don't want to take too much of your time with emotional stuff. Even though this is a really big breakthrough for me, like being so open on camera and being able to talk so freely about how I feel and what I'm trying to accomplish and what I hope to accomplish. Yeah. Day 4 has been a little bit harder than I was anticipating. Enough so that it caught me off guard, but not so much so that I'm just gonna call it quits here. Like I said, and barring any sort of medical emergency, any sort of health concerns that I or one of my family members have, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna take this all the way if I can, all the way until Friday night at 7:30, when my fast will officially have crossed over 160 hours, which is 5 days. And then I might have a small serving of soup, or maybe a full serving of soup, just to end the day. And then Saturday, it's going to be a bit more soup, and then maybe some solid food, like some apples, like I mentioned. And that'll be it. That will legitimately, truthfully, 100% legitimately be it. And that's going to be huge. And maybe on Monday I can go out and treat myself to something. But not too much, of course, because I want to keep these results as far into the future as I can. Like, if I could keep within 5 pounds of my ideal body fat, of my ideal body weight. Well, like I said, body weight doesn't really matter, but like if I could stay in the 11.5 to 13 or from 13.5 or 14% body fat for the rest of my life, that would be terrific. I'd love that. And yeah, just thinking about that just now gave me some more motivation to be able to push through. And I want to think the maybe 8, maybe 4, who knows, because I don't know who watches my videos and how often and how many times they watch it, but any of you who have been on this journey with me over the past 4.5 days at this point, thank you so much. That means a lot. That I already have some people who believe in me and who want to follow me, and of course having more people who watch and who subscribe would be nice, but just these few people, for real, just these few people following me on this journey means so much to me. And I don't even know if I should ask you to subscribe at the end of this video. But please, leave a like. Because if you feel any sort of, I'm not gonna make this too cheesy and say if you have any love in your heart at all, or like if you're even a little bit human or anything like that, I'm not gonna try and beat you into liking this video or even subscribing, especially subscribing at this point. But like, if you can appreciate even just a little bit how hard it is to be surrounded with food that you really enjoy and know that you have to put it off. You have to put all of it off. You can't eat any of it for 5 whole days. And knowing that, and even at the beginning of the fast, I knew that there was going to be food coming up that I would really miss out on. I would really want to eat. But I've done it. Not quite yet, because it's only like 12:45 in the afternoon on day 4. But like, I'm doing it, guys. This is really awesome for me, and I don't want to sound too egocentrical, because I keep tooting my own horn about how awesome I am for doing this, but it means a lot to me. And if you would like this video, I know this is really late into the video, and many of you probably won't even be watching this late in the video, since most of my videos have been under 10 minutes, even under 5 minutes, really. But if you're still watching this, thank you. And a like would really be appreciated. You don't have to subscribe, you really don't. But if you want to, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. Nobody's going to stop you. But I hope that all of the future challenges that I take on, whatever they are, whether they be a running challenge that I'm planning on doing, where I hit a certain pace consistently for a certain distance, or even if it's something as small as reading maybe even just a chapter of a book every day. I hope that this carries with me for the rest of the project. And knowing that I've done something so unprecedented, I've tried this a few times in the past, but knowing that I've done something so unprecedented in my life and so difficult, I hope that gives me the motivation and the drive that I need to be able to push through even when it's really difficult. And now it's creeping up on probably even 30 minutes or 25 minutes, so I think I'm gonna stop here. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope we can connect like this in the future over other projects, because I know emotional connection is important for getting to know people, and especially as a content creator, it's important if you want to grow and keep an audience. Man, I sound so shallow right now. I really didn't want that. But I hope that anybody who watches this video, especially if you watch it all the way to the end, that you'll feel like this channel is something worth your time. Because it's honestly only going to ever amount to maybe 25 or 30 minutes out of your day, and that's not a lot. Of course, there are a lot of things you can get done in that time, but if you stick with me for however long this project lasts, however long it takes for me to feel like I've reached my goals, then that would be amazing. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really am going to leave it here. Thanks so much for watching. I'd really appreciate a like, and I would really appreciate a subscribe. But like I said, after all the emotions I've dumped on you over the camera, I really don't feel comfortable asking for a subscribe. Just thank you guys. And as always, this is Dave from the Peak Human Project. shameless plugs aside, I really appreciate you guys being here for me, even if it is only a few of you. And I will see you all in the evening update for day 4, which should be in 6 or 7 hours. So look forward to it. Thanks for staying through this whole video, and that's it. I promise. Goodbye.